Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Levin Robinson with West Coast Cajun Cuisine, and today's video, fried fish, Cajun style. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here and you're interested in learning how to cook authentic Cajun cuisine, comfort food, and just about anything for that matter, then you've come to the right place. Click that subscription button and the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now today's video, we're gonna do some fried fish, and the idea here is we're gonna take some cornmeal and some flour and some spices and mix that all together to dredge this fish in, and it is delicious when you do it that way. I grew up on this stuff. I love it. And this recipe goes for any kind of catfish, redfish that we catch out there in the Gulf of Mexico, along with some speckled trout, just any kind of fish really that you like to fry. This is a perfect recipe for that. Now I went deep sea fishing with some friends of mine last month, and we caught all kinds of rock cod and different types of fish. I'll flash some pictures up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But that's what we're going to fry today. We're going to fry some rock cod. Now this is a very mild fish, so it lends to picking up the flavors of whatever you introduce to it, right? So we're gonna season this fish, and then we're gonna go ahead and bread it, fry it. It's gonna be delicious. We'll serve it with some French fries or whatever you like, a little sauce. What I'll do is I'm gonna leave a card up here in the corner so that you can see this remoulade that I make when I usually do like fried shrimp po' boys. This remoulade is perfect for fish. And so I made some, and when we ate the fried fish, to dip it in there. So I'll leave that video up there so you guys can check that out after this video is over with. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to the kitchen and start cooking. All right, what we're gonna need here is our fish, half a cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of cornmeal, about a quarter cup of this Cajun seasoning blend. I will leave that recipe in the description box below, along with the ingredient list for this whole dish. All right, we're going to start off by mixing our cornmeal and flour and seasoning together. Now, when it comes to the seasoning, I'm only going to put about 3/4 or so of the seasoning in here because I'm going to use this to also season the fish. So once I get the seasoning in here, what I'm going to do is basically half-ass mix this together. And the reason why I say that is because we're going to go ahead and sift it all into a bigger bowl so that we can coat our fish. All right, so basically what I have here is just a mesh strainer, and I'm going to pour the ingredients into that. And then what I'm going to do is just lightly tap it on the side of my hand. And what that's going to do is that's going to help get all the big clumps and stuff out of the flour and cornmeal. And it's going to make sure that all the ingredients are well incorporated evenly. And then what we're going to do is take that seasoning that we had reserved earlier, and we're going to lightly coat both sides of the fish. All right, in the meantime, we want to get our oil heated up. And while that's heating up, what we're going to do is place our fish fillets into that flour and cornmeal mixture. Now, what I want to do is make sure I get every inch of these fillets covered in that mixture. And this is not going to be a thick coating. It's going to be just enough, though, to get a nice crispy crust on the outside when we fry. So now I'm going to flip it over. If there's any exposed flesh, just go ahead and put a little bit of the mixture on there. Make sure it's all covered. And then what we did was let that oil heat up to 375 degrees. Now I actually want to fry these fillets at 350, but when you place them into that hot oil, it drops the temperature of the oil a little bit. So that's why we like to let it go up to 375, and then we'll place them in there. And now we're going to let it fry for probably about 5 minutes or so. And after a while, what you'll see is that these fillets look like they are floating up to the top. They should be nice and golden brown and ready to be taken out and let drain on a cooling rack in a baking sheet or paper towel. All right, so I went ahead and cooked up some fries, and basically what we have here is a Cajun twist on fish and chips. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen, Cajun fried fish. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I'd really appreciate that. Now, this video is a part of a series. It's a 3-video series that I'm doing. Next week, we're going to do another fish recipe, and it's basically going to be baked inside of some foil with some aromatics and stuff. It's delicious. I'll explain that to you next week when that video drops. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, click that subscription button, that notification bell so you don't miss it. And while you're here, check out one of these other videos on the channel, and I'll see you there.